Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, how are you doing? Well, this is Sami IELTS and you're watching my YouTube channel, Sami IELTS. Dear students, today I would like to discuss something about IELTS listening section because recently IELTS listening section is a little bit changed, and there are three major changes that now we're having in listening section, right? Just I know that many guys, they are practicing Cambridge books. Yes, there are now 17 editions of Cambridge books in the market available, from book number 1 till 17. Now, here one thing I would like to mention, that those students who are practicing book 1 till 14, yeah, so these books are having older version and listening section. Okay, three new changes now. They are basically available from book 15 and onward. So book 15 of Cambridge IELTS, book 16 and book 17. These three books will have new changes. And you can see, these three changes in the last three versions, right, students? Okay. Now, let's discuss, a bit more. Book number 1 is very much older version, and there are 42 questions in listening section and 42 questions in reading section as well. So, I would strongly recommend not to study book number 1 Cambridge. Yes, from book 2 and onward. Yes, okay, all these books are very much, authentic, and then you can get the real, approach and the real pattern of IELTS listening section, reading and writing in all 4 sections. Anyway, so let's get down to business and let's discuss three major changes in IELTS listening section. Recently, these changes took place. The very first and the biggest change that you can see on the screen there, that is example dropped. So, from book number 2 and onward till book number 14, in the beginning of listening section, in part 1, you will see, example first. So the test is not started directly, but you will first listen to the example, and then after the example, then the test starts, and then, just like the remaining test is just, continued. Now, from book 15 and onward, book 15, 16 and 17, dear students, you will not have this change. You will not have this example. And this change is now in recent books, right? So don't wait for the example. They're in the hall as well when you are appearing in the real exam and when you're practicing book 15, 16, 17. So don't wait and don't expect example there. Second biggest change, that is, time increased. Yes. But if you listen book number 2 and onward till book 14, so in the beginning of part 1, not in the beginning, at the end of part 1, when part 1 is ended, in listening section, part 1 is ended, so there they used to give you 30 seconds. You will listen the sound that, you have now half a minute to check your answers. But this time is now increased to 60 seconds in new section.
That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1.
In new books, book 15, 16 and 17. You will find this major change at the end of part 1. They will give you now 1 minute. It means 60 seconds given to you for checking the answer there. Section number 2 or part 2 or part 3 or part 4, they have the same time, limit, and the same 30 second time is given at the end of each part. But in the beginning of, at the end of part 1, the time is now changed, and now they will give you 60 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So this what you will have second change. The third and biggest change, that is, section 1, 2, 3, 4. Now section name is changed to part 1. So remember students, now when you're practicing new books of IELTS Cambridge, so you will not listen section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, but you will listen instead part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. So these three major changes are there. You can see even on the screen all these changes along with the old version and the new version as well. This is what that I want to discuss with you today. There are some more changes. Yes, in speaking section I know a bit, and inshallah in my upcoming video I'll be discussing something more about the module test, like now recent changes in IELTS exam. So inshallah in the new video I'll be discussing all about that. See you inshallah soon. Have a nice day and have a nice time. Take very good care of yourself. See you inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.